And we are back. Holy shit, with the Vacuous perspective. It's Friday night. What's going on?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, we're just here now. Yeah.
It's so hot as well.
It's the party pod.
I know I said it the other week when I was having a bitch about the weather. Got some hate mail for that.
Got mail.
Just absolutely steaming hot tonight. So, dealing with that, let's go. I'm Val, joined always by Nate. Nate, we're here. We're back. We said we would be, and we've followed through with that. So, that's pretty impressive.
I'm always impressed.
Yeah.
I'm always impressed by us.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like the child that can't fail me. You know, no matter what you do, I will not be disappointed.
Oh, that's so nice. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said. And it's quite enabling, I must say. I don't know if that's a good thing, but it sounds enabling.
That is a little bit. Yeah, so what have we missed? Is there anything I've missed?
Yeah, there was a few things space related that I'm sure you've picked up on your radar, because my radar for space stuff is not super great, but your radar for space stuff is great.
Maybe the algorithms got you.
I think it was just a story that I picked up. You know, sometimes I like to look at what the trending searches are in Google, the top, you know, what people are Googling that day. So it's like the news, but without even reading the headlines.
I'm Google interested. I know that, okay, in terms of what's popular in the space world at the moment, I assume that we're still on about the Slim lander.
Yeah, because didn't it do something, or isn't it back?
I think it's back.
Isn't it doing
last
stuff?
Last
didn't it
week
do
we
something?
about...
I heard it did something this week.
Interesting. You might have to fill me on. So last week where we ended is I said this Slim lander. I wasn't sure whether it was called Moon Sniper or Slim. So I figured it out.
Yep.
It's called Slim.
Yeah, it's Slim.
A smart lander for investigating Moon.
Makes sense.
But its nickname is the Moon Sniper. I don't know why.
Pew. Got it.
And so it touched down, but for some reason we know now, but they didn't know at the time, the solar array didn't deploy. So it was only working on its batteries and couldn't charge.
Yeah.
And it was, we're heading into I think we're heading towards a solar night. I think they're longer than our nights. I think a night on the moon
is a problem. But, you know, you wouldn't get there and be like, quick, charge the batteries. We've only got 20 minutes. You know, they wouldn't be doing that.
No, but I think that they were relying on the solar array charging and providing power immediately. Apparently it's not designed to survive a solar night.
I know. Why would it be? No.
So I think that it lands and then it just does work until the night comes. And when I say I think it's like 15 days or something as a solar night. So I think let's find that out. How long's a day on the moon?
Well, it depends on where you are, surely.
Yeah, so this thing's near the South Pole.
Yes.
Day on the moon. Because this is important stuff, right?
Obviously. But isn't it back? Didn't it start chatting again?
Yeah, I think that there was prospects for recovery, and I think because the battery got down to 12%.
12%, anyone, yeah.
And what they were hoping is that although the solar array couldn't deploy, it needed sunlight to shine on it from a particular angle from the west.
Angle. Right.
So there was the possibility of recovery. This was about a week ago. They hadn't given up on it.
Yeah. Well, they shouldn't have, because apparently it's come good. I don't know. Is that true? I still haven't worked that out.
I don't know either. We'll find out, though. I'll tell you where we were at about a week ago, because this was just after I spoke to you. So it has two mini rovers on it, the LEV 1 and the LEV 2. And LEV stands for Lunar Excursion Vehicle.
Makes sense.
And so it's got two little robots. Just remember, this is a Japanese lander. Okay, so they're doing weird shit with it because they just so it's got these two little robots. They're probably very cute. They probably look like caricatures or anime. They probably look like little anime robots. That's how I see it.
Why?
Because they're Japanese.
Right.
They're not doing things just for practicalities. They're making it look like cute.
You've seen these?
No.
Turns out I'm wrong, by the way. It's gone to sleep and it hasn't. It took a couple of snaps before it went to bed, but it's totally asleep.
I think that's because of the solar night.
Right, but it'll wake up eventually.
And so these little Lev 1 and Lev 2, they were able to deploy out of it, even though there was something wrong with the craft. They didn't know what. And what it did is it drove and then it took a photo, a selfie, or not a selfie of itself. It just took a photo of the slim lander. And they realized that it actually flipped onto its nose.
What had? The lander?
The lander didn't do a proper landing. That's why the solar array didn't deploy. It's sitting on its head. So it's upside down.
Its head?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And that's the last time I heard of it, actually. So, but I mean, okay, that sounds like a fail, but what we've got to remember is that they actually did achieve a soft landing.
Yeah. Yeah,
they didn't land appropriately.
You get away with that on Kerbal, like landing it on its head or its side. You know,
yeah, they're there. It's deployed the little robots.
Enough, just be gentle. How's it going to take off? Just straight, hit the thrusters. Let's go.
But the big
we
thing
just leave
is
stuff there, don't we? We just leave stuff there.
Yeah, we just
leave stuff there. It's fine.
There's no prospect of return.
No.
So it landed 100 meters from its designated spot.
It's not bad.
That proves that, firstly, we didn't actually know if we could land near the south pole of the moon, and we didn't know that we could land where we wanted to, because the landings, they just happened in like a general area. So they go, we're going to land in this sort of general region. This landed 100 meters, and it had apparently the reason it flipped is because one of its rockets failed just in the last descent. So it just rotated because one of them didn't fire properly.
It's probably why it was not as accurate as it could have been. Maybe it could have got a bit closer if it had all its engines going.
And actually, you know what? That's what it says here, that it's called a moon sniper because the whole point of it is a super precise landing. That was its task.
Right. So it's
trying to snipe a landing.
It's both of them. Yeah. Yep. Great. So it's asleep. Look, it could maybe the light can reflect off the surface and touch those things from the underside, and maybe we'll get some sort of action with the slim. But that happened. I don't know what else happened.
In space?
No, just in general.
Oh, well, finally. Remember we were talking about that Chinese property giant, Evergrande?
Okay, yeah. It must have been a while ago. Yeah.
It was ages ago. They went into default 2 years ago. This is before we even started the podcast. And it sent shockwave through the markets through the world, because this is the biggest property developer in China defaulted, okay? And the government simply couldn't let this company fail because it's too big. Well, anyway, this thing's been through the ringer for years and years, and finally a judge in Hong Kong has said enough's enough. And they've put it into liquidation. I don't think the market's factored this in now, so it hasn't actually changed anything. At the time, it really caused a big problem. But it's interesting. This thing failing, apparently it's got $450 billion of liabilities.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's not counting its assets. It's the biggest. It probably has, I see here it failed owing $325 billion US.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that doesn't mean that also, space number. This is a space number. Because, I mean, the biggest property developer in China, like China builds a city just for fun.
Mm.
It just, they build a city like we build, an estate. We go, we need some new property on the market.
Well, a property developer surely goes, we should build a new estate. Let's build one.
Yeah, well, they just go, let's build a new city. Like, we build it, they'll come.
Yeah.
But the government won't necessarily still allow it to fail. I think they're just going to bail it out like they do with big, the government will bail out big banks and things. They can't afford for this thing to fail, because everyone that put money into this, like all the people that have put deposits down on houses, things like that.
Yeah. It gets scary when you talk about that stuff. Yeah.
I think they want to make sure home buyers who bought property, well, before, who knows what they're going to do, but I mean, that's a thing. It's a thing that happened.
Yeah.
China. I came across something that actually really interests me.
Okay.
I actually thought of your brother,
Yeah. Okay.
your younger brother,
Yep.
because there's a lawsuit in the High Court in New Delhi, the Indian High Court.
Yep.
And it's about who invented butter chicken.
Oh, okay. That's a big story, is it?
I reckon.
Is there a bit of contention there? Because there's contention.
Well, I thought butter chicken was something that I thought that was a bit of a joke in India, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Isn't butter chicken regarded as like a Western? I thought that was I thought it was a concoction for Westerners at a minimum. At least a concoction for Westerners. And I even think it may have been created by Westerners. I thought this was a purely Western thing.
Okay. It's not?
No, it's not. Apparently it was developed in, lots of northern India near Pakistan, apparently.
Sure.
It was born 1947, an open-air diner.
Yeah.
Located Daryangan Street in the old quarters of Delhi.
Yep.
Apparently the idea was born out of frugality, which means like stingy, right?
Yeah, didn't have money.
Using leftover tikas and mixing it in a thick tomato gravy and dollops of butter. I actually didn't even know butter was in butter chicken. I mean, I know that sounds silly.
That does sound a bit silly. What do you think they had?
I don't like when I eat butter chicken. I don't think of butter.
You don't get butter vibes.
I don't get butter vibes. No.
Yeah, I don't get butter vibes either when I have it, but I've always associated butter chicken with butter somehow.
So we know when it was born.
Yeah, but what's the High Court got to do with it?
I think that there was a couple of people that were involved in sort of propagating this thing. This diner, open air diner, I believe became quite popular, and then some of the people that used to run that joint went off elsewhere, and they started advertising a long time later that they're the grandsons of the people, or and the restaurant gets handed down and whatnot to their children, and they start saying that this is, we're the grandson of the people that, I don't know, they start claiming it as their own.
Yep. Okay.
That's my understanding.
Right. And is it a bit like the Lamingtons thing? That was an Australia, New Zealand thing, like who invented the Lamington? There's a bit of biffo over that, but no one went to the High Court.
Is there conjecture over that?
Well, I don't know. Or is it
who
the other one?
Who invented the Lamington?
Pavlova. There's another one, Pavlova.
Oh, that's all. I think the biffo comes from, that's New Zealand. That's a New Zealand creation. I think Australia claim it as their own.
Right.
Bit of nationalistic vibes going on there. So, I mean, I think when you make this is a Flaming Mo situation. I think they should take precedent from Flaming Mo. What you need to do, if you discover something, or not discover,
Yes.
if you create something,
Yes.
a dish, even if you need to write it down.
Right.
Write it down.
Yeah.
Take a picture of you with the recipe.
But you don't want to have it written down. It's all in your head.
No, but this is what you have to do to
protect
to
yourself.
To be on strong legal ground.
And what was the Moe's thing?
Flaming Mo.
I know about the Flaming Mo. So what was his deal though? He had Flaming Mo's, so which were beers, right? That were lit on fire?
I think it was a cocktail.
Okay.
I don't think there's any beer on it. So Homer Simpson
invents it at the bar, and Mo uses it and becomes mega rich. And
yes, and they actually, and the reason he comes across is he runs out of beer. That's right. They run out of beer, and then Barney needs a drink. And Homer says, I know of this something that, his
a special recipe,
the sister-in-laws. I think it was I don't know how he came up with it. And then so he starts mixing it together, and it wasn't that good. And then for some reason there was cough syrup in the Lost and Found at Moe's. And he decides, he accidentally, I can't remember how it gets in there.
Right.
Actually.
When did the lighting on fire happen?
It was an accident. Someone had and it didn't taste so good. And then someone's cigarette butt falls off into the drink and it goes up in flames.
Yeah. And then it's amazing.
And then he blows it out and just has a sip.
So, I mean, I always watched that episode as a kid and thought Homer got his idea ripped off him. That was the whole point of the episode.
No, so yeah, exactly.
But there's so much more to it. There's the cough syrup. There's the flame. There's the...
There was a real process behind it.
Homer didn't invent the flame bit, did he?
Oh, yeah, but I mean...
That's what I mean.
Yeah, I see. You see, you're saying maybe that the guy's cigarette that fell in there by accident has some kind of claim.
Yeah. In the same way that, like, the cough syrup did.
Yeah, but Homer put it all together. And he's the only one that knows what it is. The guy...
I need to rewatch that episode. Maybe I'm getting this completely wrong because I do remember quite strongly that the episode was suggesting that I feel very bad for Homer. That Mo did nothing but steal his idea.
Actually, you know what? I think why I was thinking of Selma and who's the other one, the sister-in-law?
Oh, Patty?
Patty, yeah, Patty. Oh, they're so filthy. So I think what happened is Homer, the way the story goes is he's at home. He's desperate for a beer.
Yes.
And he just puts all this stuff together, and I don't know how I don't know how the cough syrup gets in there. Right. But then Patty's cigarette falls off into the drink.
Patty's cigarette.
And Homer goes, "This thing's amazing." And then I think when they're out of beer at the pub, he goes, "Oh, I've got this drink." And he goes, "Oh, but I need some cough syrup." And Mo's like, "Hey, in the Lost and Found or something like that."
Right on. And then lights it on fire. He does the whole
And he goes, that's right. I think Mo or Barney has a sip. And they go, "This is rubbish." He goes, "Yeah, but I'm not done yet. You need to light it on fire."
Wowzers.
So you saying Patty and or Selma may have some kind of claim. Yeah.
Some cred. Yeah. Absolutely.
Some involvement.
Because it sounds like it's the key ingredient. Not cigarette ash, but flame.
So maybe it's who added the dollops of butter to the butter chicken. So whose idea was that? Because that's not common in Indian cooking.
Well, apparently not if there's only one place doing it in the north of India.
Yeah, because I thought butter chicken was a bit of a joke. It's very mild for starters. Like think about Indian curries. Like this is a white boy curry.
Right.
It's a favourite of white boys everywhere.
Yeah.
So I didn't even think an Indian restaurant would want that association.
Yeah, but people order it.
Yeah. Do they order in India? They must. It became popular in India, so. Okay, so the case involves two competing restaurants and families, each claiming a lineage with the city's renowned Moti Mahal restaurant.
They're both claiming.
Founded in 1947 and each calling themselves the inventors of the popular dish.
The inventors? Well, they can't do that. They're the Mo's.
So the lawsuit's brought by the family of a guy, the original restaurant's founder. He claims that this guy, Gujrao, created the curry and sued rival Chamberlain, falsely taking credit for it. Okay, so the family's seeking $240,000 in damages.
Yep.
Alleging that this other family's wrongly claimed invented. Oh, another thing. They got two claims against them. The dal makhani, a lentil dish made with butter and cream. Butter again.
Wow. Buttering up.
I figured it out.
Go on.
So it says there's countless versions of how butter chicken was invented.
Right. Countless.
There's countless. But all of them start with a man called Mocha Singh.
Wow, they all start there.
And they feature three of his employees and three different restaurants around the subcontinent. So it all comes back to Mocha Singh. So he's the man, but I think then people took his dish and then...
They're all Mo's after that.
They're all Mo's. So it is a flaming Mo situation. It's Mo Singh though. But
unless
that's
he
the
sold
kind
it,
of...
in which case it belongs to them. Like KFC. Like the Colonel doesn't own KFC anymore. Like the real Colonel Sanders.
The real Colonel. So do you reckon the real Colonel was a real guy?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He owned the company.
Nice.
What are you talking about? You don't know who the Colonel is? Come on, man.
I wouldn't even know if that's just a marketing thing.
But he's got a Wikipedia and a
I know,
life
but
story.
I've never really looked into him before. I've never.
It makes you wonder why they haven't done a KFC movie, right?
Oh, I'd watch that.
Yeah, because they did a McDonald's one, right?
Did they?
With Michael Keaton, Batman. You know Batman.
Yeah. Did they do a McDonald's? Oh, yeah.
I think so.
Is that on Netflix?
I don't know.
I think I've seen the icon
It's called
thing,
The
or maybe
Founder.
it's on YouTube.
It's called The Founder.
Oh, yeah. No, I haven't watched that. I've seen it.
Wait. That's conflicting terms. You've seen it available.
So I've seen the thumbnail. I've seen the
right.
thumbnail.
You
Yeah,
did
yeah.
watch it. Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yeah. I've seen it. I think I saw it on a plane.
Okay, I typed in KFC movie into Google, and the first hit is a Wikipedia article called "A Recipe for Seduction."
Is that a documentary?
It's a short film sponsored by KFC and produced by the Lifetime channel.
Okay.
Starring
what year?
Mario Lopez as Colonel Sanders.
Wow, they did it.
2020.
2020? Holy shit.
Tells the story of a young heiress.
I was expecting,
Heiress?
because of Lifestyle Channel or something, I was thinking like 90s? Wow.
It tells the story of a young heiress. What's an heiress? Is it an heir? Is it a woman
heiress?
Heiress who struggles to choose between a wealthy suitor chosen by her mother and the new house chef of Harlan Sanders. What the
hell is going on? What are you talking about?
It's sponsored by KFC. I don't know what this is. Okay, plot. At a family party featuring fried chicken at the lavish Mancera house, Billy Garibaldi III proposes to Jessica Mancera.
Do you know who Mario Lopez is? He's the guy from like Extra, Access Hollywood.
I don't know who that is.
He's a host of a.
It's an American
like
actor and
news
television
magazine
host.
Sort of stuff.
Okay.
Did you see what Beyonce was wearing on the weekend? It was amazing. I thought it was great. What the fuck is this movie?
Okay, the film has a 70% score on Rotten Tomatoes. I never know what that means. On Rotten Tomatoes, do you want a high score? Like you would, right?
Yeah.
Because Rotten Tomatoes is a negative thing, it makes me think like if you get 70% of a shit thing, then it's no good. Like if you get 100%, you're like, do you want to be 100% on like something? Yeah. Anyway, generally positive reviews.
Yeah, right. Indicating.
Oh, it's indicating.
I mean, people could just be like, that was really fun. I have no idea. I have no idea what this movie is.
Oh, it's aimed at women who love men and who love chicken.
Yeah, I saw that.
And someone praised the film as comfort food.
But it's not the story of Colonel Sanders.
Yeah, why is it sponsored by KFC? Is there just product placement in there? Why would KFC sponsor a movie?
No, well, the main character's name is Harlan Sanders, which is the real guy.
And it does say, okay.
It says Mario Lopez as Harlan Sanders.
No, on the cover I'm seeing, it says Mario Lopez is Colonel Sanders.
Whoa.
And it says on the front cover, presented by Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yes, but it's only 15 minutes long. Where did this play? How have people seen this?
Wait, the movie's 15 minutes long.
Yes.
What the fuck is this? It's like a short movie. Well, I don't understand.
It's a short film.
Okay, it's going on the homework list, that's for sure.
Oh my God, where can we find this?
Hey, you know what I figured out about our homework?
Yes.
You know, and I don't do it.
Right.
We need our listeners to do it.
Oh, for us?
If we have listeners. Work? Yeah, so we just, tell people to go
watch Recipe for Seduction
and report back to us.
The Lifetime presented by KFC classic.
Yeah, someone go out, watch that and just let us know what you think. Is it worth, should we look into it?
I mean, it's 15 minutes. We should probably look into it. But yes, I agree with the premise.
So I think we should be assigning homework, not doing homework.
Right.
Because we're not doing homework anyway.
Right, so we should shovel it off to somebody else.
But the problem I'm seeing with this arrangement...
Yes. You don't think they're going to do their homework either?
Well, we don't get any emails.
Right. I haven't checked, though.
Yeah. So, if we're not getting any emails, if I ask someone to go and watch The Whale with Brendan Fraser because I didn't do it last week, I don't think anyone's going to do it.
Right. Someone might do it one day. So it says this recipe for seduction was on television. Short television film. 15 minutes, sponsored by KFC, a recipe for seduction.
It's not even an episode.
No. It's just a one-off short film sponsored by KFC.
Yeah.
I'm so confused by this. And it's not what I wanted. I wanted a feature-length movie about Colonel Sanders. Who would you cast as Colonel Sanders, like old man Colonel Sanders?
Oh, I'm terrible with this stuff. You would come up with someone. I would like. Do they have to look like Colonel Sanders, or can I would pick like them someone?
To try. Yeah. You could get them all full maked up, right? You could do some prosthetics and stuff.
Who do you think you're good with actors? Who do you think would?
Maybe Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah. I mean, you got to get an old version of him. You got to get a young version of him. You'd cast like, I don't know. It doesn't really matter because no one knows what he looked like when he was young. So you just get like Timothée Chalamet to do it. The guy from Dune, get him to do it. And you know, then you need like a middle-aged version of him. You get like, what's his name? I don't know.
I'm just thinking of
buddy Tom. I don't know, Tom Hardy. He's always good.
I mean,
but you didn't even know he was a real bloke. You knew he was a real bloke.
Oh, I would assume he was, but it also wouldn't surprise me if he was just a figment of my imagination.
What the guy on the side of the KFC thing?
It's a bit like Dan Murphy's. Is Dan Murphy a real guy?
Right.
Or is he just a face on that?
I think they're both the real people, likely. But he sold it, so he still remains the face of the company even after he sold it. I think that was the point I was trying to make about the earlier thing about the butter chicken.
Okay.
So he's passed on ownership.
For money.
Is he still alive? He's dead.
Do you reckon we could sell the podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah. But if we sell the podcast,
we're like Colonel Sanders. We'll stick around.
So we have to keep doing it.
Yeah.
But we get a one-off payment. We get a one-off lump sum payment.
Yes. Send your offers through.
Yeah, we'll keep going.
We'll think about it.
We'll keep going for a year. Maybe we'll.
Anyway, Colonel Sanders died 43 years ago.
Oh, okay. Heart attack?
Don't know.
That's what I would have thought.
I don't really want to read the death thing because I want
to
see the movie.
Publicity. Yeah. Oh, they're not going to cover his death in 15 minutes, though. You're not going to.
No, as in this short film, A Recipe for Seduction, is not what I had in mind. Oh, there's a trailer. Do you want to watch the trailer?
Oh, yeah.
Let's watch the trailer.
What do you mean there's a trailer for a 15-minute movie?
Yeah, you get 1 minute of it. You're watching 1/15 of the movie.
That's almost 10%.
Yeah. All right. I'll share it through disc so you can see it.
Do you want to know how can I give you a spoiler alert and tell you how Colonel Sanders dies?
Yeah.
I don't know yet, but I can find out.
I know how he died.
You do?
I do.
Oh, how did he die? I don't know.
I think he was diagnosed with acute leukemia.
Oh, it's horrible.
6 months later, he died.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
If you get your audio turned up, because I'm going to press play. 3, 2, 1.
What the hell are you doing?
A Lifetime original mini movie.
You don't answer my proposal, and now you're not answering my call.
I think I'm falling for the new chef.
Oh, there he is.
Jessica is falling for
The man, the legend.
Leave Jessica alone and skip town.
He has a secret recipe that's going to change the world.
Some secret recipe.
He's got like broccoli and stuff. That's not Colonel
We all
Sanders.
have our secrets.
A secret recipe.
I promise there'll be more long weekends in your future.
Mom, I have to tell you something.
What
We have
the?
a problem.
Secret's out, chicken man.
Oh, the secret's out. Chicken Man! Oh, shit. Oh, my God.
Kill him?
Harlan Sanders, the new chef.
Mario Lopez is Colonel Sanders. In a
What is
recipe for
this?
Seduction.
This
Premieres
is
December 13th at
crazy.
noon
Is this where
on
movies are heading?
Lifetime.
We're just going to shorten them to 15
Presented by
minutes and
Kentucky
have them
Fried
sponsored
Chicken.
by a mega corp.
Presented by Kentucky Fried Chicken. Wow. But that was exciting.
Do we need to see the movie? Well, I didn't know if he dies. Well, I know he dies of leukemia, so he must get
I
through
don't think
that.
they're going to cover that in the movie. I think, like you said, it's not long enough for them to do the whole story. They're just going to cover his love affair with the people at the house, him breaking up a marriage in progress, and making the world's most popular chicken thing.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to start watching your stream now.
Yep. Just sitting in the emails. No emails.
That's a shame. That doesn't surprise
but
me.
now that we've put the homework out, you'd think now's the time.
Yeah. Have you heard of a band called OneFour?
No.
Neither had I.
Oh, yeah, go on.
Saw this article and it said something about some Australian act sparking debate between art and censorship.
Right.
And I love that kind of stuff. Like I love censorship and the issue of censorship, and particularly where art's an interesting one, right? Because you want people expressing themselves, and
it's always on the line, sure.
it can be on the line. I'm of sort of the view that you can't censor art.
Right.
Yeah, there would be circumstances where you can, but if it's just a form of expression, you're like, yeah, you should be able to do it. So this piqued my interest. And then when I started reading this article, I'd never heard of OneFour. I don't really listen to music anymore. I don't know any of the current bands. I don't know if they're in Triple J's Hottest 100 or anything.
You have no idea. Yeah, neither do I.
Yeah, this article said that they're Australia's most successful hip hop act.
Wow.
So I thought maybe I was out of the loop. I did mention this to a couple of people the other day.
I think we are out of the loop.
Yeah, I mentioned to 3 people younger than myself the other day. I said, I don't know. I'm probably just out of the loop, but do you know OneFour? And none of them knew them.
Wow.
They're from over east as well, these 3 people. And this is a band that is based in Sydney. They're Samoan. I think it's 3 or 4 Samoan Australians.
Yep.
They're from a really poor postcode in Sydney. And they have suspected gang links. So the police keep blocking their performances. I don't know if they've ever performed in Sydney. It says for years, police have blocked the group from performing at home, arguing their music incites violence. So I read this and I thought, I have to listen to this now because, if their music's inciting violence, I had sort of a bit of an NWA vibes about it with Straight Outta Compton. And when I typed in OneFour into YouTube, the first clip I saw was called, one of the top ones was called Freedom of Speech. And I thought, perfect, this is all playing into the censorship stuff. Yeah, and I was a bit taken aback.
It's like the subject matter you want to talk about, right?
Exactly. The clip is pretty wild. And the language, I couldn't hear everything they were saying because it's hip hop. But they're talking about rivers of blood, killing cops. There's like a cop car burning at the end. They're defacing it early on. It's pretty graphic language and imagery. I was pretty surprised.
What did you think you were going to see?
I thought it'd be a bit more sort of fun.
When Limp Bizkit said, "We've got the torches, we've got the fire to burn this motherfucker down," right? When they say stuff like that, it is wild, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, but you're a big Rage Against the Machine fan, and so am I. You think we'd be able to find some colourful sort of lyrics in there?
Oh,
that are
definitely.
It's
because I'm not familiar with them.
Vibe that you're, exactly.
Yeah.
And like, I think in Rage's case, for at least your musical taste, it's much more palatable for you to listen to a Rage song than some hip hop.
Yeah. It sounded pretty gangster. It sounded pretty good. But
you liked it. Should I have a listen? Is this homework that I should do? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's. I'm not really into hip hop. I wouldn't say it's good, but it sounds like hip hop. It's very Aussie. You know when you hear Aussie rappers.
Yeah. Of course,
funny.
like Hilltop Hoods and that sort of jam.
Oh, it's definitely some homework.
Yeah,
But I
What,
totally
are they going to
get
be on
why it's
Spotify,
sparked.
or is that not how this
I
works?
assume they will be. If they're Australia's most successful hip hop
Yeah,
act,
that's what I'm
you'd hope
thinking.
so.
Yeah, right. All right, well, I'll check it out.
And so
But
unless
did
they're
you agree
actually,
with that? What did you disagree with?
oh no, they
like,
should be. I think
on
they
their-
should be able to do it.
Yeah,
I
on
understand
the
that they
issue-
could incite violence, but
Right.
unless they're blatantly calling for murder, blatantly, and they're using, if they're defaming people, if they're doing anything illegal,
Right.
it's a problem. Otherwise,
So when
it's
Limp
got to be
Bizkit
art.
said, "This is dedicated to you, Ben Stiller. You are my favorite motherfucker. I told you, didn't I?" That's not that he didn't defame him. I don't know why I brought it up, but he didn't defame him.
I didn't know they said that.
No, there's because when I was away,
Why did they
had
say
some
that?
albums downloaded. Oh, because he probably met Ben Stiller once, and Ben Stiller said, "Hey man, big fan of your music," and he probably said, "Man, big fan of you," and he goes, "Well, put me on one of your songs," and he goes, "I will," and he's like, "I doubt you will." And that's why he would have said, "This is dedicated to you, Ben Stiller, because you're my favorite motherfucker." And then he says, "I told you, didn't I?" He also brings up Christina Aguilera in that song as well. She gets a mention.
Fred Durst does.
Fred Durst mentions Christina Aguilera in that song.
And so
It's a very old song.
how many people does he shout out? Because the more people he shouts out, the less of significant it is.
Well, he shouts out a few other things in the song.
If
He
you're
says that he's
listening-
seen The Fight Club about 28 times.
Good movie. Great movie. Fred, if you're listening, and can you say, "Fuck you, Nate,"
Yeah.
in
To
one of
you?
your songs? Yeah, just in a
Oh,
song.
right. Put that
Yeah,
out there.
Put some
They're still
effort
making
into
music, I'm sure. It's possible.
it. What's that thing you love watching in Limp Bizkit live? There's something that happens in Limp Bizkit's live set.
Yeah, no. They do it all the time. They have this song called Full Nelson, which is from Chocolate Starfish album. And they'll often, especially on recent tours, it seems, I don't know if they've always done this, but they'll bring a person on stage to perform the song. I think he had a sign that said, "I know Full Nelson" all the way through. And so Fred Durst sort of says, "Oh, you know Full Nelson all the way through?" And the guy's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Well, come on up." And the guy just knocks it out of the park, in my opinion. Did so good. And they do slightly modify the song to give that person this like solo moment where all the music stops and they get to drop a
Fuck yeah. Man,
what is it? "Knock straight the fuck out" is the lyric, right? Because this song's so dumb, but it's basically about like, it's your classic Limp Bizkit. If you say mean things about me, better step up, and then I'm going to knock you out, kind of stuff.
Awesome.
It's great. And that's where it's the same song where they're mentioning the torches, but they've got the torches now.
Oh, is it?
Oh, we've got the fire.
Okay, so I'm just looking into Limp Bizkit concerts because I could learn that. What's the song called? Full Nelson.
Full Nelson.
But Brazil. It seems to be all North and South America.
What do you mean? Are you trying to find the one? It's Brisbane.
look.
It was in Brisbane.
Oh no, I'm trying to find an upcoming concert.
Oh, you want to go see them live? You just missed them.
Wait.
They literally just did an Australian tour like the end of last year.
Oh, spewing. Yeah, okay. Yeah, December 8, 2023. They were in Victoria.
Yeah. That's where I saw
Brisbane.
the video from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Damn, I just lost my mind because I saw 20 August, Auburn, WA, and then I realised it's Washington State.
Yeah.
Fuck. How often do you reckon they come to Australia? Like not very often.
Not very often, but I'm sure they'd play all the hits because I don't really know what modern Limp Bizkit music is.
Damn.
Do you want to go see Limp Bizkit live?
I want to learn Full Nelson.
Yeah. No, you should definitely do that.
I want to be that guy.
You should definitely do that. I wouldn't want to be that guy. It sounds scary as fuck. But this guy handled it really well. He was putting his best screams in. It was great. It was one of my favorite videos of last year.
Did I accidentally break your nose to Limp Bizkit song? Or was that a
No,
Rage song?
I think it was a Rage song.
Yeah, okay. I
think
can't really
you
see
were
myself
head
headbanging to like Limp Bizkit. I can see myself
I
singing Limp
could.
Bizkit.
Yeah.
There's parts I get around.
No,
I really
I'm pretty
like,
sure.
I like My Way as well. That's nice.
Yeah. Now I like Chocolate Starfish. I like the
Mm.
whole album. I think it's great. Most of it. There's a couple of skips.
The drums are pretty banging as well. I find the Limp Bizkit beats pretty epic. And that's what got me into them early on. I was a drummer.
I think it was just break stuff. I think that was the only reason I got into it. I think that I heard the song Break Stuff.
Yeah.
And I just thought, this is the coolest song ever. He's, I
Break your fucking face tonight.
Yeah, give me something to break. It was great. Great fun. I hope you know I've got a chainsaw. What? A chainsaw. What? A motherfucking chainsaw. What? So come and get it. Oh my God. So great. Such great moments.
I love the sort of the interlude key change in Nookie. Rearranged is great. But do you know what really fucked me off with them?
Yeah, go on.
Oh,
no, I already know it.
Behind Blue Eyes. Because I loved the Who's version of Behind Blue Eyes. And they don't even do the breakout part in it. So the best part about Behind Blue Eyes is I don't mind covers in different genres. But what they do is they're I don't want to call them metal. What are they? New metal? I don't know what they are.
New metal, yeah, sure.
New metal.
I reckon they would have done a banging version if they just rocked out.
They need to
Behind Blue Eyes.
Yeah, but they need to at least do the breakout of Behind Blue Eyes is the epic part of the song. All they do is they take the sort of the melodic slower part that is the first I guess half or 2/3 of the real song, and they just sort of repeat that in a very similar way, but way worse. And then they don't even because sometimes it's the contrast between the two styles that
exactly. You're waiting for them to drop into you're waiting for Wes to just drop some gnarly shit. And for them to get all, Limp Bizkit-y, and it never happens.
Yeah. They needed to go Limp Bizkit on it. And
it didn't get Limp Bizkit-y at all.
No, and then everyone loves it. And I'm like, God, there's a way better version of this. A way better version.
Yeah, but it was very popular at the time.
Very popular, yeah.
So from what I remember about the incident you were bringing up is that you were headbanging to Rage Against the Machine's Bulls on Parade.
Oh, yeah.
Around a party. And that's a headbanger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll break someone's nose by accident. Yeah.
And then you smacked into me and I had a bit of – I think that's my best guess, okay? I still can't definitively say that's it.
Mate,
but I'm
rocking
guess.
In my chair just thinking about Bulls on Parade.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
One of the happiest days of my life was seeing Rage Against the Machine.
What other songs did they play? They obviously played Bulls. You have that in your mind. Testify, maybe?
Well, yeah, they did. But I'm not a huge fan of Testify, particularly live, because they play it a little bit faster.
Yeah.
Generally, and I find it
with live versions as well, it's whatever you hear first is the one you're going to prefer. If you hear a live version of something first, you will never be able to listen to the real song.
I've got the same problem with Sleep Now in the Fire. Both of those songs sit in the same. For me, they play them too fast, and they don't. Then they're just not. I don't know. They're definitely rocky.
But the albums sound so good as well.
I like Bomb Track.
That whole album. That's the self-titled album. Yes. That's.
Is that the one with the flaming monk on the front? That
is the flaming monk one.
Is that the Tibetan protesting against Chinese occupation or something?
No, I can't remember.
Isn't that what it is? I don't even know. Yeah,
I've looked it up.
I should know. I mean, the guy's burning. He's burning alive.
I've actually looked it up before on the show before, and I still don't remember. So I thought the brain was meant to have unlimited storage, and it's just you can't access it. So I don't have access to that particular file right now, but I'll get back to you. My people will get in touch with your people. We'll hand it over.
Okay. Let's see. The album, blah, blah, blah. With politically themed, revolutionary lyrical content. The album artwork was notable for featuring a graphic photograph of Thick Quang Duck performing self-immolation. Is that what you call it?
Self-immolation. That's lighting yourself on fire.
Coincidentally, oh wow, the album came out 3 November 92, the same day as the 92 US presidential election.
Wow.
Interesting. Zach De La Rocca, how can you not be a rock star with a name like that?
Yeah, it's really set him up like Ozzy Osbourne.
It's such an insane photo. I'm just looking at it now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy moly.
But you haven't worked out what it's about yet.
No, I've just clicked on this guy's Wikipedia. They gave him a Wikipedia. Luffingham. Yeah, he's upset. Okay, so he's a Buddhist monk who died by self-immolation at a busy Saigon road, protesting against the persecution of Buddhists by the US-backed South Vietnamese government of Ngo Dinh Diem, a staunch Roman Catholic. Photographs of his self-immolation circulated throughout the world, drawing attention to the policies of the Diem government. JFK said of the photograph... Wait, how did... JFK... Oh, this is in 63.
Yeah,
no, he was born in 63. Oh, wait. The immolation occurred in 63. He was born in 1897 and died in 63. Obviously. Okay, so 63. Okay, and then JFK said of the photograph, no news picture in history has generated so much emotion around the world as that one.
Oh. Well, I had news for you, JFK. There's another photo that people are going to be equally earth-shattered by in a few years. His assassination. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Like,
for what photo? Just his brain on the back of the car.
That's the photo.
That's actually hectic. So,
yeah,
Mrs. Kennedy was obviously traumatized, right?
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, in the moment, didn't know what to do. She just
I didn't think she'd just brush it off. Yeah.
She didn't. She just started picking up bits of his brain that splattered on the back of the car. That is just like...
Is that true?
Yeah. If you see the video, she starts collecting little bits of brain matter because she's hoping that
pop it back in
because you're just not even thinking.
That's intense. Have you watched the Oliver Stone JFK movie? It goes forever. It's a long movie. Have you seen it?
I don't think I have. What's his sort of take on it? I mean, everyone's got a conspiracy about it. Like, there's lots of different versions of it.
I can't even remember. It's a really long movie. Wait, it's 188 minutes. What's that? It's 3 hours.
What's Oliver Stone? What's his deal again? What's his sort of like lean? What's he done? Does he have a lean?
I don't know. He's a film director. I don't know.
I was having a look at him because sometimes I need to sort of feel like I know. It's like what
so
was it?
What you want to do, right, is you want to go to Wikipedia. You want to go to their Wikipedia page. Then you want to scroll to the bottom and check what their, for example, foreign policy stuff is. What do we got here? Holocaust controversy. See, now we've got a problem. U.S. presidential politics, sexual harassment allegations.
He's always too political. I like people that almost come at something from I'm not saying not an educated background like this. Like he's probably got an axe to grind because he's got he's so implicated. What I like is there's an Australian, I watched a thing that he's an Australian gun expert and he has firearms expert. So he may have views politically, I don't know, but his claim to fame is he knows stuff about guns. And he did a thing about the JFK assassination, and he says, I've studied this thing. I'm just a gun expert, and this is why I can tell you about the facts as we know them. And it's interesting because he just says that he just explains how it doesn't line up, and he proposes some alternatives, but he doesn't really. He hasn't written books about political things. So he doesn't have this, he doesn't come with all these.
Sure. Well, here you go. From the horse's mouth, Stone described this account, meaning the JFK movie, as a counter myth to the Warren Commission's fictional myth.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
how
And
he
the Warren
described it.
Commission's the official
investigation.
story by
Yeah.
the government official story. Yeah,
That's correct.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
That's just how he described it.
What was I was reading a book called Killing Kennedy. Remember when I was living with you?
Yes.
And you were like, I was like, man, it's pretty interesting. I'm not saying when I read a book that I don't think any book I read is fact. I just add it into the mix of things that I've heard of, and I'll give it weight as I see fit. But I'll never give something. I won't say that anything's case closed. I'll just add it in as another, and I'll decide how much weight that I'm going to give this lump of information that I pop into my brain. It's more of it becomes a feeling at the end of the day rather than anything scientific. And then you were like, the author was Bill O'Reilly.
Oh.
Is it Bill O'Reilly? He's very right leaning.
Yeah, the conservative sort of commentator.
And
he's not
like,
around
mate,
anymore. He did the O'Reilly factor.
Yeah, and you were like, man, this guy's like super right wing, and like,
yeah.
And I was like, you know who Bill O'Reilly is? I was like, no. I was like, interesting. So I didn't pay any attention to the author.
So you were reading a book called Killing Kennedy, written by Bill O'Reilly?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. It's good. It's good. I enjoyed it. I don't really remember it. It was 10 years ago, but. That got me into the sort of some of the issues, but that's about it. It's a pretty sexy one. It's a nice one. The Kennedy
assassination,
or murder, or whatever you want to call it, is a very interesting one.
Yeah, it's one of the OGs, right? It's one of the OGs.
Yeah. It would have been an interesting. I don't know what to think at the time. I don't know.
What do you mean?
If you lived through that, I'm just wondering what your thoughts about it would be at the time, or whether is this something that kind of.
It would depend on how like free and flowing the flow of information was back then, right?
Yeah, because the Warren
public.
Commission didn't come out for a long time, right?
Yeah, I don't know how long. It must have been a couple of years at least.
Which I always find a little bit interesting as well. So
you've
that
got a
came
guy
out.
who the big contention is either whether or not he acted alone, or whether or not he had nothing to do with it. So he either did it, didn't do it, or did it with other people, right? And it's opened itself up to all this stuff because you've got one guy. If the official story is true, we've got one guy. We got him, and then a gangster shot him, so he's dead now. So don't worry about it anymore.
Then the one guy got shot by a cop. The one guy who did it got shot by a cop who also acted alone. In terms of, because you got to think about there's really two assassinations, or there's two murders. There's Lee Harvey Oswald who murdered the guy, and he acted alone, allegedly. And then there's this, I think it's a retired police officer. I think Jack Ruby was
No, he was a gangster.
No, he used to be involved. Let's see what he did. Okay, Jack Ruby. I thought he was involved with the American nightclub owner.
Yeah.
Ruby shot,
He acted as the bouncer of his own club and beat his customers on at least 25 occasions. The fight would often end with Ruby throwing his victims down the club's stairs.
Oh, I thought he was like a retired cop or something.
No, man, he was a gangster. So
that's interesting. But so he had cancer, and so some people say that he was kind of going. He was going to go anyway. Yeah, this is. I remember hearing. So some people theorize that.
You want to go out
someone
with a bang
could put him up
pick
to this.
Like,
we'll
Beauty, the guy that shot the president. I'll go get him.
Yeah, or we'll.
No, that doesn't make any sense.
No, but we'll sort you out, or your family out, or something. You're gone anyway. You do this for us.
That's different. That's different to him going, "Oh, I'm sick. Feel like a spot of murder."
No, not like that. No. That you're dead anyway. So it seems like that doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. But okay, the report came out less than a year after the death, actually. That's pretty good.
Okay. So they would have commissioned it, get it done.
pretty
Obviously,
good.
like the public would have been like, what happened? And they're like, we'll let you know what happened once we finish the report. How long is the report going to take? Let's just say a year. Great. We'll hold you to that. Okay. Do that.
888-page report.
That's suspicious.
Well, yeah, I would have thought that once you've got enough, I would have thought that, I don't know, but you have to look, I guess you have to look at everything. But you would think that with 888 pages of facts, like there's a lot of people around, maybe there's too many witnesses. Maybe that's the problem.
Maybe they didn't talk to them all.
Well, I mean, everyone has their, witness evidence is unreliable, but yeah, it's an interesting one anyway. I like that.
There's so many different theories though. That's the interesting thing to me, is that it's not just like there's, the two classics are what happened, Warren Commission, correct. There's the grassy knoll, right? That's the other classic. And then there's been some other ones. Like, have you heard the one where it's the Secret Service agent who's running behind him who shot him?
Yeah, well, that's what I think the Australian firearms guy, I think that's where he landed with it.
Really?
Because that's where I thought I heard that, but who knows where I did. And I don't know if he's saying, I can't remember if he just sort of why he thinks that, because that sounds like a big leap to make if you're just analysing the facts to then go,
it is a bit weird to be like, so what's the plan again? They go, right, so when you're running down the street together, you just pop him in the back a couple of times and like shoot him or in the head or something. And then how do I get away with this? And they're like, don't worry, there's going to be a bloke in a bookstore or book depository shooting bullets around.
Yeah, and they'll all think it's him. We'll just pin it on him. Yeah,
they'll pin it on him.
Yeah, there's no witnesses. It's perfect.
No, but he'll be like, but won't he tell? He'll be dead by tomorrow. And he was.
It does.
He didn't even get a chance to be like properly questioned and stuff. Like,
no.
It's really rife. Like all of these little things add up to it being just looks dodgy.
Yeah, and he was claiming immediately that
he had no idea what was going on.
Well, no, that he was claiming to be a patsy.
Yes,
and in the sense that I believe patsy's like it's not a scapegoat. What is exactly a patsy? Hold on, a person who is easily taken advantage of, especially by being cheated or blamed for something.
Okay,
because he was definitely involved. He was involved. He was definitely involved somehow. But, for example, they could even someone could encourage him, put him up for it. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. I wish I knew. Do you reckon I'll ever know?
Know what? The truth?
I can't handle the truth.
Let's have it.
Oh, but the moon, China's announced they're going to the moon by 2030.
Yeah, with people.
With people, 2 people.
Great.
I don't know if they're hanging around there or not. But yeah, south of the moon. So they're going by 2030. So we're back in a space race situation.
Right, and there's all this, because everyone knows where the good land is at the South Pole. So we're all looking for the same base location. And Starship still schnatter?
I think it's making some progress, but did you hear they pushed that back recently as well? Have you heard they've officially pushed back Artemis 3?
Yeah, that means they've officially pushed back the other one about the moon, the DearMoon mission.
Oh, have they?
Well, the DearMoon mission is completely reliant on Starship.
Oh, okay.
So Starship's it has to do its thing first. They have to finish it, whatever that means. I mean, it shoots.
I forgot about the DearMoon mission.
You forgot about DearMoon?
Yeah.
With Aoki and co?
Yeah.
Going to go record some songs on a moon flyby or think of some fun things. I don't know what they're going to do. But I assume there's toilets on board.
Oh, why don't they have that? They don't have an update on Wikipedia. That's interesting. Yeah, okay, nothing's really changed there. Yeah, launch date TBD. Yeah, they need a Starship.
They need a Starship, yeah.
Oh, well then, I mean, so Artemis 3 update. Okay, so Artemis 3 is boots on the ground. So they've said that they're not going to be on the moon until September 2026 at the earliest.
Wow, that's soon.
No, but that's been pushed back a year.
That's still soon.
It used to be September 2025.
Yeah, but are you saying that someone could walk on the moon before Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out? Is that what you're saying?
Well, that's coming in 2025. So
Oh, yeah, but they could push that back.
I think they're more likely to push back the moon landing than Grand Theft Auto 6. Because Grand Theft Auto 6 is achievable. We don't even have a fucking rocket to get us there right now. We don't even have the tech. So do you know why it's been delayed? Do you know why it's been delayed?
No.
I'm not even kidding you. Further
Go on.
technology development.
Uh-oh.
How much fucking technology?
How did they
do
do
we
it in the
need?
60s? How did they do it? Can't do it now.
We can't do it now. How much tech? This is 50 years later. So look, we've looked at this. The computer that came out in 1973, which was, we went to the moon 6 times before 72.
Yeah.
Okay. The computer, what is it, the Atari or some shit,
Right.
the Microsoft whatever in 73 is like carried around in a van. It's a joke. It's not even, and it can't do shit. It can't even play Pong. It can't do anything. It might be able to be a calculator.
Yeah.
And that came out in 73. And we went to the moon 6 times and we don't have enough technology
Now.
Yeah, so we don't have a
It
landing
is starting to
craft.
become-
They don't even have spacesuits they can wear.
No. Waiting on fabric.
So Artemis 2's been pushed back to September 2025. So that's also back
Tech.
a year. Tech, again.
Yeah.
Well, Artemis 1.
What tech are they working on?
Well, yeah, so they need the landing craft to get on the moon
Right.
and the spacesuits.
That's fine. You
And
knock that
spacesuits,
up.
but the
You've got a lot of
spacesuits-
room in the Starship.
Just
Knock
use
that
the
up.
old spacesuits. Go contact Buzz.
Right.
Say, mate, we need some spacesuits because we
That
don't
work
have
on
the
the
tech.
moon.
We need some
That work on
spacesuits
the
that
moon.
work. Let's get some of your
Yep.
old stuff out. Let's get back. Let's get the Challenger rocket out. I mean, it blew up once, but generally
Maybe
it was
we
okay.
Maybe we should be plugging in the old computers. What do you reckon?
They seem to be more reliable.
Plug in the old computers. Use the old tech. Use the OG tech. It did it. And the only time they almost didn't do it with the Apollo program was that time when Tom Hanks went up in the thing and they ended up doing a flyby instead of a landing. Brilliant.
So this is the official word. SpaceX needs not only to get the new vehicle working properly. So obviously there's been
That's
some
fair. Let's get it working
spontaneous
properly. Yeah.
rapid assemblies.
Yes.
But also to stage an uncrewed demonstration at the moon. And just getting
Whoa.
Starship in the vicinity of the moon will require the company to refuel its craft in Earth's orbit first, a practice
Whoa.
that's completely novel.
Why?
I think it's the reusability of it. I think that you put it in orbit.
So once you're in orbit, you then load that tank up that you've got left because one will come back, land back on the drone ship or whatever, and then you'll have
and then
that
you
one.
shuttle.
fill
You
it
have a
up.
shuttle bus up there.
A shuttle.
So it says, indeed, it could take 10 launches or more of other Starships just to get enough fuel into one vehicle above the Earth so it can make the journey to the moon. Oh, because you have to launch and have enough left
Fuel up
over
there. Yeah.
to pass on
So
to the other vehicle.
Elon's going to need a whole Starship base just dedicated to fueling the Starship base up there.
I think this is one reason why they're looking into using the resources of the moon for
That makes a lot of sense.
propulsion, because
that makes a lot of sense.
getting it up there is obviously a big problem, and they've never done it before.
Massive problem. Why is it such a big problem? Are we being too impatient? I mean, surely you could just push in that direction. You'll get there eventually, but it might take a few years or whatever.
Yeah, what's the rush? What's the rush?
Yeah, no rush.
Oh, but they haven't pushed the dates for Artemis 4 and 5. So they're still set to take place
boots?
2028. They're more than boots. They're like the fucking Nexus gateway or something of the moon. They're making...
Oh, they're making the spawn point.
Yeah.
They're putting down the base routes.
So Artemis 4 mission.
I think it's just a crafting table. I think they just pop a crafting table on there and then they can work from there.
What's a crafting table?
Well, it's just an item you have to build to start a base.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so this mission will launch 4 astronauts on a space launch system rocket. Why are they using an SLS?
Why are they using
I thought
an
they're
SLS?
using a Starship, aren't we? We're going backwards.
What happened?
We're going backwards.
Plug the old computers in then. If you want to go backwards, let's go all the way. Plug the old computers in.
Yeah, so and then it's something...
You know what? I think people just want to play Pong nowadays. They don't want their work PC to be jammed up by just zeros and ones. They want a bit of variety.
So the main objective is the assembly of the Lunar Gateway.
Oh my God. It sounds
which
like
is the first planned extraterrestrial space station. So that's going to be in orbit around the moon.
Oh. So it's
I'm not 100%
in a different,
on
it's
that.
in a
I'm not
different class to the
100% on that.
ISS in that it's orbiting not Earth. Great.
I think that's right. But
and it has humans on board.
Yeah, but I mean...
And it's going to stay
ISS.
there, you assume.
Yes, yeah. They're decommissioning the ISS. That's coming down 2030.
Jesus.
And so what's Artemis 5? Like using the...
No.
I can't remember.
Like habitation, right?
We've dealt with this so many times.
Let's get habitation down there on the surface. Let's have a little pod. I'm pretty sure you just need plastic and something else, and you should be able to build that. Chuck it up.
Yeah, I want births. I want actual aliens.
You want moon births.
Yeah, moon babies. Moonbies. Artemis 5 is the 5th planned mission. They're still back on the SLS. Okay.
So is sustained human presence? Are we talking like the population of the moon is now, it will be officially like 8 by that time? You know, maybe 5 or 6? I mean, they're coming back and forth.
Okay,
they're coming back and forth.
So 4 is setting up the Lunar Gateway, which is, I think, orbiting the moon. I just didn't read enough to know. But then this one delivers European Space Agency's Esprit refueling and communications module to the gateway. And so this will also be a lunar terrain vehicle. So after docking to the gateway, 2 astronauts will board the Blue Moon lunar lander and fly it down to the lunar South Pole with the lunar terrain vehicle on board.
You get a car. Yeah.
This will be the first lunar landing since Apollo 17 to utilize an unpressurized lunar rover. Plan to have 2 astronauts on the surface of the moon for about 1 week, where they'll conduct science and exploration activities.
They've got pressurized moon landers, like pressurized moon vehicles.
Maybe
What does that mean?
I don't think
Pop
they
your helmet
do.
off?
I don't think they
jump
do
in,
have.
Jump in the cab and pop your helmet off. Is that what that means?
I think them. I don't think we have any pressure. We don't have a pressurized lunar. That would be wild. So I
That's
think
a car
they
on
should
the
just say
moon.
that it's just a lunar rover. They're all unpressurized. Yeah, a car. A car. would be
They
sick.
made a point out of that. They made a point out of saying.
Could you imagine
this one.
getting in a car on the moon and being able to take your helmet off?
Oh, that's what they're talking about.
I wonder when the first pressurized vehicle on the moon will be.
Yeah, no, we're gonna have some moon tourism.
Oh, the Blue Moon Moonlander.
Yeah,
Or
great
just the
name by the
Blue
way.
Moon Lander. The Blue Moon Lander is by Blue Origin.
Ah,
They're designing this thing. They're all in cahoots. It's a fucking money grab, I tell you. They're not doing shit with this.
right.
They're not doing anything.
Right.
This is all what's that space company that raised $200 million and they hadn't done anything?
Yeah, no, there's a lot of them.
They just do startups, and they say all this stuff like, yeah, this is what we're going to do. Well, yeah, we're going to Gateway is a small modular space station to be established in near rectilinear halo orbit.
Stop.
In late
Signing
2024.
I'm signing it. Brilliant. What year?
2024. Yeah, sink all your money into it. And what's even on the moon?
Right.
Ice. Who gives a shit? I've got ice.
In your fridge?
Plenty of. Oh, my fridge died actually recently, but the guy came over. The guy came over, fixed my compressor, and we're back. We got ice again.
Yeah, great. Yeah, but you know the importance of ice because then we're talking fuel. We just talked about that. We need to refuel up there.
It makes it sound so easy.
You just pop a thing in there, build a craft bench, pop a thing in the ground. I think it auto does it. Pretty sure, just comes out.
I actually start to see parodies like Spaceballs as being more realistic than some of these space programs.
Spaceballs?
Spaceballs.
The movie Spaceballs?
The movie Spaceballs, yeah.
With the Bill Pullman, Rick Moranis?
Yeah, those guys. Yeah, Rick
John
Moranis,
Candy.
that's right.
So what are you talking about?
So what's Mel Brooks' deal? Because he's the man behind Spaceballs, right?
Yeah, he did a whole bunch of great movies.
So is he just? Yeah,
he was a comedian, right?
He's a comedian,
stand-up,
okay.
Probably stand-up.
He's a good man for producing Spaceballs. Thanks,
Yes,
Mel.
absolutely. No, it's
If
good.
you're
And
out there,
thanks, Mel. He plays a role in all of his movies as well. Like he writes himself a role in all his movies.
He just takes the piss, doesn't he? Do you reckon he's a good bloke? I reckon he is.
Yeah, he's probably a really nice guy, obviously. But no, he always plays the scumbag though. Like in which one were you talking about? Spaceballs. He's the mayor of Spaceball City.
Oh, that's it. Yes.
And I thought this was what you were going to bring up because he's opening up cans of air and like sucking on air secretly.
Yeah.
Because they have shit air there. And he's like having like a spring water, like air, and getting really into it. But no one else is allowed to have that.
Or they probably can't afford it.
It's contraband.
Oh, it's contraband. Yeah, okay.
Probably.
I love the way they portray the Empire as being completely incompetent.
Yeah, absolutely. And Colonel Sanders is in it as well. Colonel Sanders is
he?
Yeah, he's the right-hand man to Dark Helmet on the ship. Because he says Rick Moranis says something like, we're going to have to go to ludicrous speed. And Colonel Sanders says, ludicrous speed, I don't know about that. I don't know if the ship can take it. And he says, what's the matter, Colonel Sanders? Chicken?
So good. But ludicrous speed.
He goes like, prepare ship. And then recovers, prepare ship for ludicrous speed.
What's played speed?
Played.
Yeah,
so that's like that shirt that people wear if they're into like logging.
Yeah,
that's
but why
plaid.
is that the fastest speed?
It's not the fastest speed. Oh, it is the fastest speed.
I think it goes light speed, ridiculous speed, ludicrous speed, played speed.
No, but
because the ship passes above Bill Pullman.
That's the comment that John Candy makes. Yeah, he says they've gone to plaid. Maybe he doesn't know about the technical terminology for what it actually means.
Yeah, okay. See, and this is one reason I like Elon, is that he draws inspiration from Spaceballs.
Does he?
Yeah, well, the flamethrower he did. He's drawing the merchandising. The Boring Company sold 20,000
Spaceballs, the flamethrower. Yeah.
I like that. And also in their cars, they have the speeds in the Teslas.
He's a Mel Brooks fan, right?
Yeah, so their acceleration modes are named
ludicrous.
light speed, ridiculous, ludicrous.
No, it's called ludicrous speed. Yeah.
So do they have them all or just ludicrous?
Just ludicrous.
Oh, okay.
What's the second to ludicrous one?
Ridiculous.
Is it? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think it's just ludicrous. Which is great. Because I'm a massive Spaceballs fan. Blazing Saddles again. That was a good one. You seen that one?
Yes.
Yep, that's a good one.
Do you know that one of the tips of the rockets that Elon was making he made it less practical for rocket purposes, but he just thought it looked cooler.
Right. What are we talking about? The top of Starship? What are we talking about?
I don't know if it's the top of Starship. He was on a Joe Rogan and he was saying he's just like, no, I just thought it looked cooler. It's like, it obviously must have had negligible effect, because if it had a significant effect, he would.
Have you seen the video where a guy like says, "Hey, shouldn't you be doing this?" And he goes, "Actually, yeah, that's way better." Have you seen that one?
No.
I want to show you it. Let me just pull this up for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, watch this.
You don't even need a cold gas thruster system. You already have hot gas.
But this is only for the booster, right?
Yes. Although arguably, now you mention it, we might be wise to do this for the ship too. Thanks. Now that we're gonna fix that. I'd say that's like one of the biggest improvements that we've made. It occurred to me when I was explaining it to you. I was like, wait, what are we doing?
Yeah, we'll watch it again.
Yeah. But he didn't really suggest.
How crazy is that? How crazy is that? It's like, yeah, that's now that you mention it, that is a good point. We should probably do that for the other part of the ship as well. Yeah, thanks for that. Do you reckon he got flicked a mill ball for that? Do you get flicked mill balls for stuff like that? If you're a guy who gives ideas to people like Elon Musk and he follows through with them,
and it's a great change. I don't think he flicks mill balls to people.
You don't think he flicks mill balls?
No, you get a high five. Yeah, so on Joe Rogan, I just found Elon admits SpaceX Starship design is pointy, inspired by the dictator.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why the dictator, Ali G, or what's his name, Sacha Baron Cohen.
It's not that one. It's the Charlie Chaplin movie, The Dictator.
Really?
I'm almost certain. Unless he was actually talking about a Sacha Baron Cohen movie, but I would have thought that it'd be the Charlie Chaplin one.
I'm not even sure.
No idea. Sure. But it's got a good speech in it. Have you seen that one?
No.
Maybe I'll show you a couple of videos. Yeah, I'll send you some videos after we're done.
Yeah, some homework.
But this is homework for you that I think you'll actually really enjoy. Oh, so don't sweat it.
Okay, also, just to close out, the moon rotates very slowly.
Good.
The moon rotates once on its axis every 29 and a half Earth days. Oh, okay, of course, because one side of the moon faces Earth, and so that it rotates around Earth in a month, so it does one full rotation in a month. So dark lasts for half of that time. So I was right, 15 days is night and 15 days is light.
Right.
So when the Slim lander, I think the idea
charged up again.
It lands at the beginning of a day, I think ideally, and it has sun and power for 15 days. It can do things. And the reason they don't survive the cold of the night is I think that it takes all the components get too cold, because it's not just like, oh, it's -30. It'll be like -200 for 15 days. And it just wrecks everything. And those batteries can't completely die. So, but the Mars rovers, for example, when they go into hibernation during Mars nights and storms and things, they use their power to keep their core at a certain temperature so that they can come out of hibernation. If the freeze kind of gets all the way through, I think it can wreck the components.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? Because heat has proven to be a great source of energy, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah. Well, that is
not just
energy.
for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, just for the plants, for solar panels, all that stuff. We've never been able to utilize sort of freezing cold, right? There's no something you can chuck on your roof to get the cold in to then use it, right?
Well, cold is just a lack of heat.
I know. We just need to figure out a way to extract it. I'm talking batteries that run on cold. You know what I'm saying? But they run on extremes. An extreme lack of energy.
Maybe you should mention that to Elon.
Yeah, and he's like, that
He's
actually
into
sounds like a
batteries.
great idea.
Like,
and then he'll flick me a millball, mate.
Yeah. In your dreams. Hey, there is some space stuff.
There's always space stuff, isn't
There's some
there?
space stuff that maybe what you were getting excited about.
Okay, could have been.
Remember that Osiris REx asteroid sample that they collected bloody fucking 6 months ago or so?
Yes.
Well, they collected it way longer than that ago, but returned in September 2023.
Yes. And they've
Do you
been
know-
studying it. Yeah.
Do you know they
Yes.
only just popped that thing open last week?
Just popped it open. Are you kidding me?
So the main sample and the main cache of this
Yes.
thing is enclosed by 30 bolts or something like that, these fasteners in the order of 30 bolts. 2 of them couldn't be removed using the existing tools that have been approved for use on this thing. So all they had is apparently 70 grams of material was outside. It was still you could access it from outside of this main unit, the main store. So they had 70 grams of material. I don't know why, but the rest of it just lay out of reach. Because they have to use they have to go by the book on this, and the tools wouldn't work. So they had to develop new tools to be able to get into the capsule, and it took this long.
Bloody hell.
How are
But
you
they got
ever going to pop that thing open? I mean, get in there.
Yeah, smash it against the wall. Have you tried that?
6
Light
months.
touch.
I mean,
Light
NASA,
touch.
please.
Was it NASA?
Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell.
I'm losing.
But it's open now, right? And
Yeah, it's open,
what's
it's
in
open.
it?
Oh, like
Didn't they
primitive
find
space
something
rock.
in it?
Really, really, really old space rockers.
Nah, come
old
on,
as our
man.
solar
They've
system.
surely found something. I'm
No,
thinking
just rocks,
maybe
dude.
like a Goa'uld. You got a Goa'uld?
Not that I know of. Well, they just looked at it. Who knows? They're looking for clues about our cosmic neighborhood.
What does that mean? Give us a list of things you've bashed into recently.
Well, they're supposed to be able to get some insights about the formation
Come on, man.
of planets from that.
Come on, man.
These scientists, mate.
Come on, man.
Mate, we can't figure out who first made butter chicken, and it happened in
Right.
1947.
Yeah.
And they think that we're going to be able to
Do you
figure
think we're
out
garnering anything from the universe?
the beginnings of the solar system, please.
Love that. Love when they say stuff like that. Like when the JWST was coming about, the whole lure for you that you were excited about is you said we're going to be able to see the start of the universe. Is there anything crazier?
No, nothing crazy in that.
So what do you do after that? What if they did it and then just like, yeah, we did it?
I don't know where we've landed on that. I haven't been sort of paying attention to JWST.
Well, it's up there. It's doing its thing. And good on it. It's doing a great job.
Keep up the good work.
I'm sure it's just mapping a whole bunch of stuff. We'll probably end up with an image file in about 10 years' time that'll be called like all the JWST images stitched together to create, a full 360-degree view of the universe. We'll probably get that in about 10 years. It'll be a 45 terabyte file.
You'll be able to project the universe onto the walls in your room like a hologram.
Yeah. There's a lot of good stuff happening.
Do you know that we're going to have air taxis by 2028?
Yeah, drones.
It's like a big drone that you can sit
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, okay. Personal drones, right?
Personal drone. Yeah.
Autonomous?
I don't think so. I think there's
No, driver.
I think there's
Driver.
a driver. Yeah, well,
Driver?
You know what? It's probably optional at that point.
Yeah. A driver? Really?
Well, I think that'd
Come
be
on,
more
man.
fun. Maybe not. Maybe I don't know. I think it would have a driver. The driverless one will like. Otherwise, what do? You just pick a spot on Google Maps and say, "Yeah, take me here."
Yeah.
You still have to land the thing, you know.
Yeah, but it'll have approved landing areas. So it won't just be able to drop you off at the front of your house or whatever. It'll be like, sorry, man, my closest one is like over here. There you go.
Yeah, maybe petrol stations can be sort of repurposed as landing pads or something.
People are just going to be flying around and getting dropped off and getting picked up by air drones all day. Sounds fun.
It takes off vertically. It's going to hit the market in 2028. It's Hyundai. Hyundai are making. They've got a subsidiary called Super now.
It's a flying car.
It's
that's
electric.
our first crack.
An EVTOL.
Is this really it? This is the first crack.
It's not the first. It's not the first crack. Actually, they did this again. They did this previously, and they sold the idea for like. So they did this in 2020, and I'm pretty sure. I don't know if it was Hyundai or someone else, but they did it through a subsidiary. They said we were going to happen by 2023, and they sold it to someone, and it never happened.
Oh,
could be
so
an
someone
electric
just
car
shut it
situation
down.
again.
Yeah.
But this one, it's the SA-2. So they call them EVTOLs, a electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicle. So it can go 200 kilometers an hour, fly at 500 meters.
So I think it's Uber because it says Hyundai and Uber on it.
Oh.
And this was its
Uber.
first look 4 years ago. Uber.
So this is that's the old one.
Right.
The SA-2 is the
SA-2.
new one that just got released.
And that's better, is it?
Well, at least they still own it.
And this is Hyundai.
Yes. Because I'm pretty sure Hyundai had done this before.
Okay.
What do you think about the look? So the idea is it's way, way quieter than a helicopter.
Yeah. It's still going to be loud as hell.
Okay, so
Yeah,
heli,
I think it looks pretty funky. There's a lot of propellers.
Yeah,
A lot of
Call
things
that-
to get clipped by.
yeah. They call it or distributed electric propulsion.
Nah, it looks cool. I'd fly in one.
Do you reckon in your lifetime
What?
you'll
that
be
I'll
in
fly
an
in
EVTOL?
one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't mind flying one as long as you don't need like a ridiculous license for it. I'll fly one.
Apparently they're trying to get these things up and running in time for the Olympic Games in Paris this year.
Whoa. That's pretty cool.
That'd be pretty nuts. So that's only 6
It's not
months
Back
away.
to the Future style flying cars, and that was 2015. So we're well behind.
Yeah,
we are well
Yeah,
behind.
yeah.
We're still well behind.
We're well behind the fantasies that we once had.
Yeah. But it's all inevitable. So we've got that to look forward to. And another episode next week. We've got that to look forward to as well.
I'm ready. Should we just do it? Should we just do it another episode now? Just roll into another one?
Yeah, well, it's like what are we looking at here at the moment? It's about 30 billion degrees. I don't know how you're going.
Yeah, I'm sweating the box off.
It's 30 billion degrees.
Yeah, go listen to some OneFour.
Yeah, no, I've got some homework. I'm going to give you some homework, and I'm excited about it. And we'll be back here same time. Well, not at the same time, but next week.